Singer Huang. Actually, I'm based in Taipei, Taiwan. I'm the actually current Alumni Association in Taiwan's president. And I'm very happy to co-host this event with the Center for East Asian Studies at Stanford, and also the Stanford Science and Technology Hub, giving us big help as the also. So this place actually is rented by CEAs, and lots of help being given by the Tech Hub, all the volunteers and everybody. Leo, because I would like to help promote this film because it's squarely on Taiwan. Not only is executive producer funded by CNEX, a good friend of mine, who was the founder of CINA, and later focused his whole energy on producing Chinese documentary film. And also because I was, in my early days, served in Taiwan for mandatory military service for 2 years before I came to Stanford for my engineering degree, then later law degree. And this film actually says very good point. So then, let's welcome maybe another host, Kharis Templeman. He's an expert on Taiwan. The last time I met him was December 31st. He was 20 plus 9 Hennessy scholar. It was a group of people watching and observing the presidential election in Taiwan. So Kharis Templeman is the Taiwan expert on Stanford campus. And I will hand this to Kharis.
All right, well, thank you everyone for coming on such short notice. I know this was a late add to the quarter's agenda. It's good to see so many of you here. It's my pleasure today to introduce our distinguished guest, Leo Chiang. How do you say your Chinese name?
Chiang.
Chiang. Okay.
Like the river.
Okay. Chiang. Okay. Leo Chiang is a filmmaker based. I imagine most of you already know who he is since you are here. But he's a filmmaker based in San Francisco and Taipei. His new film, Our Time Machine, has been played at over 50 film festivals worldwide, winning 10 awards and nominated for an Emmy Award. He recently directed 2 episodes of the Peabody Award-winning 5-part PBS series Asian Americans, which traces the history of Asians in the US over the past 200 years. And he has a number of other films, a village called Versailles, about the rebuilding and transformation of the Vietnamese American community in post-Katrina New Orleans. Outrun, which profiles the only LGBT political party in the world. Mr. Cao Goes to Washington, To You, Sweetheart, Aloha, One-on-One, and Safe Journey. We're here today because he has a new short film that's been nominated for an Oscar Award entitled Island in Between, and it's about the outer islands of the Republic of China on Taiwan. Jinlan is the island that he focuses on in the documentary. It has attracted tourists in recent years because of its ubiquitous military history on the island. I have to say on a personal note, in fact, since I've introduced you, why don't you come up here and join me, and we can go ahead and sit down, and I'll ask you a couple questions. We'll have a conversation about this film.
Great.
And we'll keep this pretty casual since we've got a pretty casual group here. So I was just in Jinlan last August for the first time, and I came away impressed with the sheer amount of military history and presence on the island there. The first question I wanted to ask you is, why did you get interested in Jinlan? You're not from there originally.
So. No. Actually, what did you think about Jinlan besides the military artifact?
Well, I was there in August, so it was oppressively hot. That's the first thing. But also, it's amazing how well preserved things are there, and also how prosperous a place it is. I had known on a kind of intellectual level that Jinlan County, Jinlan-Xian, the county government is the wealthiest county government in the Republic of China on Taiwan, in part because they have the Jinlan Galleon factory. And so we had to pay a visit to that factory and sample some Jinman Gaogang. But you can definitely feel the prosperity in the place now, and it's such a stark contrast from the old kind of grainy black and white videos and footage that you see of the Taiwan street crises in the 1950s when it was a poor, war-torn place. And so that transformation is also quite interesting to me. Why did you gravitate towards Jinman?
So as you will see later in the film, my father actually served there. Like many Taiwanese young men, who win the Jimaxia, right? Either Kimon or Mazu, to serve there, mandatory military service up there. But I think, I see a lot of, I assume, Taiwanese faces in audiences. Jiman just has this mythical, place in the Taiwanese consciousness, right? This is sort of forbidden place, but you hear all these stories, and they tend to be kind of horror stories of some sort. How miserable it was for these young men to be away from home, to be under constant threat. There was all these, stories of like, the PLA soldiers swimming across to like cut people's ears off or heads off. But when I arrived there, which actually was because of the pandemic, I've been living in Taiwan since 2017, and in 2020, my folks and I, we wanted to go on a trip together, spend some time, and it was so inconvenient to leave the country at the time. You had to do a 2-week mandatory hotel quarantine. So we were like, well, let's go somewhere domestic. So Jinmen felt like the perfect place to go. And it was so different than how I imagined it, having grown up hearing stories about it. I mean, it's just seeing all the really incredible, besides the military artifacts, it also has like the largest collection of the Southern Chinese and Minnan architecture, in Taiwan. And also has incredible natural beauty. The beaches, with the exceptions of the anti-landing spikes, which you will see later as well. Also, like everywhere you look, seems like there's a beautiful sunrise or sunset. Just every day. I feel like I spend half my day there looking at, the beautiful scenery. So it really just intrigued me, and also, as a Taiwanese American, somebody who was born in Taiwan and spent most of his adulthood in the U.S. I've always been frustrated with a lack of an easy way to tell Taiwanese stories for the non-Taiwanese audiences, or even audiences not from the region, right, who does not have any clue of the complexity of the situation. So I felt like this was a great opportunity to perhaps use the visuals. These visuals are so powerful that it says so much, but use it in some ways to not just tell the Jinmen story, but tell the Taiwan story, at large. So that was the initial motivation. Because of the production company, CNEX, which, our producer, Dylan, was sitting in front still working away. CNEX is a foundation and a production company in Taiwan that has really worked very hard to tell stories of Chinese diasporic stories. They had decided that they wanted to tell a whole series of Taiwanese stories for the international audience in 2020, an initiative called Taiwan Matters that Ben, the CEO, had gone around Taiwan and raised a bunch of money from the tech sector, from the foundations. So this ended up to be something that he was interested in, that I was interested in, and we decided to move forward with this. So, yes, that's a very long answer.
No, that was great. So you have some personal family history. You said your father was posted to Taiwan.
Do you want to see the film first, and then we can
No,
talk after?
let's watch the film.
Yeah, I don't want to give too much
Okay,
detail.
yeah, let's do it.
But we can,
It is only,
Yeah.
15 minutes. We'll do that, and then
Yeah.
we'll do some more Q&A, and then we'll turn it to you as well. We'll give you
Yes.
a chance to ask
Okay.
any questions you have.
We will continue the discussion after the film.
Actually, that's not my computer. I don't know how to operate it.
Katarina will help us out here.
That's good.
You know, Leo left Taiwan before he was 15, so he didn't serve in the military. So that's why he has deep attachment to his father. So